Hey, everyone. Another thing I noticed about the internet in the last, the years that I've been doing things flat out on there. And that is, here it comes, when it comes to what you can do on there. So you got to make sure that you're upgraded, right? Because if you're not upgraded enough sometimes, what you see and what is getting offered to you on the internet might not be all there because you haven't upgraded enough. That might be because they like to change things really quickly, which is a shame if that's it. Or it's to do with money, making people upgrade. Right? More likely, probably that one. Because the first one, it doesn't really work out when you make people want to upgrade all the time. Some people can't. Even some phones can't, which I'm about to get to in a minute. Because then they can't see certain things. They can't do certain things. They're missing out, which is not really a good thing. But anyway, when it comes to the phones, see, the phones can only be upgraded so far before they're kaput, and then they make you maybe that's why they do these upgrading things. And I'm just chucking it out like that. But it could not, because they want you to upgrade your phone in the end. That's how I see laptops. I always talk about it with computer people and stuff like that. I'm like, the old computers can take, go on the internet. It always can. It can always do its feature. And we always talk about you got to upgrade your phone and do your features. But why don't they just let the old computers go on there and look the old way, but still allowed to get on there? They don't, because then they'll have a lot of people with computers that can access the internet still. And they won't have to sell as many computers as they need to sell. It's all interlinked, these companies. They all have their little tricks and they get together. So they all make money. Right? Now, I've got no proof that they're doing this, but when you're going through a problem like that, you research the companies and stuff like that, you would find that's what they're doing when it comes to problems like that. Anyway, back to why I wanted to start talking about this is because I like to use emoji pictures. As I've mentioned before, as I've been growing up, I'm a person who uses pictures, symbols, to communicate and to remember my list, my shopping list. Used to be pictures of what I was buying. And when I got bored in certain areas, when it come to language, I didn't like to learn language much. I played up in language at high school because I thought I didn't need to learn French or some other country that I was more likely not going to go to. And if I was, I'll go to study it when I go to do it then. And I'm behind on other things, so I decided to do other things besides that. And that got me into trouble in French class. It's how I used to get into trouble. Things like this. And then the French man would be like, well, you got to learn French, you learn French. But I don't want to learn French. I want to do maybe catch up on some art or catch up on some history, something like that. And I'd get into trouble for doing that. But in the end, they let me just do it because I just kept doing it anyway. And they put me on the timeout table. They used to have a timeout table back then. Put me on that all the time. And the teachers used to even say back then, you draw pictures all the time. That's what I do. Pictures, I connect with pictures more than spelling. I'm semi-illiterate. I can get there in the end. But when it comes to pictures, they talk to me like I say all the time about looking at things. But back to the emojis, I like to use emojis. And I noticed that depends on how upgraded you are and what phone you are and what you're looking through the internet. Like I said, the internet is actually different for everybody. The emoji pictures are slightly different, even completely different. So I put up emoji picture because I like to put them up as to say a story. Like instead of saying the world, right in the world, I'll put the world up. Nice, quick way for me. People like to do things quick. So I'll be like and then the world, and then put a world picture there, as it means the world, right? Or other little pictures like that. Or add a picture with the world. Just see the world. Here's a little picture, like we do in books. Pictures don't help. Helps look better, doesn't it? That's how I see it. Even though I do get a lot of people, or the only replies I've had when it comes to, I haven't had many replies, but I can tell you a couple of that I've had. And that is, look at you, you're a kid, you use emojis, why don't you write more and all that? And I'm like, well, I cruise here and there, I put up songs a lot. I don't need to write an opinion each song, but I like to put that I was there. And so I use emojis to how I feel from what I'm thinking. If they ask me why, they can always ask me why, what's those pictures mean, and I'm happy to explain it to them. But I don't usually get that. I usually get smart comments. But yeah, I noticed that when it comes to, I've been noticing a lot of things, some things that can't explain are a bit strange, that shouldn't occur, and then some things I realised later on, oh yeah, that there's an understand reason why that's occurring. But I haven't been on, I was on technology a long time ago. I used to help my dad put computers together and make web page designing way back in the day and look up alien things and all that kind of thing. He wanted to make a certain engine site up when it was all starting back in the day, but he never ended up completing that. But I used to do a bit of that. And so I know a little bit about that kind of stuff. It hasn't changed that much. It's changed, and I'm just catching up on it. That's what I'm doing now. I have to catch up on all these strange different things because I haven't been on for a long time until the last 2 years, really, isn't it? Roughly, yeah, mostly the last year I've really been hammering it. And because I don't usually like getting on the internet, because when I left home, I got addicted to the internet and video games on the computer, playing war games. And we used to have, pretend we're soldiers running off and had to blow up the other team's base or collect a bag or, something like that, or kill the whole other team, war soldiers games, Delta Force kind of thing. And I got addicted into them games and chatting with people. Spend hours as a sniper and all that kind of sitting in grass like you're an army soldier, right? I used to play games like that. People used to come in and go, look, you're wasting your life and all that kind of thing. And so I've been there. I know what it's like. And I got out of it. And I only play games to socialise now. And I nearly got back into it a few years ago where I played a little bit too much games. Maybe because I had too much freedom and the things that people like to socialise with is video games. But the last few years I really don't play games much at all, do I, though? Yeah, it's just not my thing. But I still do a new game. I don't play games over and over again, the same crap, same levels, same things. I don't do that. I haven't done that for a long time. And that's what makes me bored. Unless I socialise with someone who hasn't played that and that makes me want to play it because I'm getting along with them and I'm happy that they're learning and I can show them something. But other than that, I don't like repeating things too much. But they have something new, don't we? Because we don't want to sit there wasting repeating things. I only like to repeat movies every now and then if they've been old ones. I don't mind. But if you've just recently seen it, I don't like to repeat. But some people do. They like watch them over and over again. But it's not my thing. Anyway, I'm starting to blab again. But blab number 2 for the day. See yous. Bye bye.